It is clear that the international pandemic known as COVID has impacted the graduate market, and we can see this with the results of the High Flyers report of 2021. There was a 15.1% reduction in the overall graduate recruitment in 2020 compared to 2019. This decrease came from the top 100 graduate employers identified by the Times, and there was a difference of nearly 4,000 graduates compared to what was expected from the country's top employers in regard to the employment positions. Lastly, only 2 out of 15 of the most sought out industries remained recruitment levels at the same rate as previous years. Looking at the ideal candidate profile, Forbes 2021 described growth mindset as being the top skills recruiters are out there looking for from graduates. Recruiters are more likely to hire those willing to learn, as opposed to those who may have all the required skills and knowledge but insufficient curiosity. In addition, IT is a highly sought after skill nowadays with any business because of its high importance within any organisation. The majority of our lives is also online, which makes it imperative we have the knowledge to make use of these tools. An article by Stahl in 2021 emphasises why these skills are necessary due to an 83% increase in phishing attacks. This means companies are looking for more individuals that have the appropriate skills to prevent such attacks. Equally important when looking at a candidate's skills and a profile is creativity. Stahl also stated that 94% of hiring managers believe that creativity is a key factor to look at when considering a candidate, and the majority of businesses stand to positively gain from creativity due to the increased competitive advantage they gain as they are more likely to differentiate themselves from other businesses. In my previous applied management practice report, I completed a variety of self-assessment tests, which I will now discuss a few of. The Belbin Self-Perception Inventory Test recognised me as a shaper. A shaper is someone who tends to have a positive attitude in the majority of situations, however can easily become overstressed. A shaper tends to follow the overall group direction and follow the discussion of the group as a whole. Roles I scored low in were plant and monitor evaluator. This highlighted my personal weaknesses, which included low innovation skills and likely to not make well-balanced decisions. The Joe Harry window exercise allowed me to compare the qualities I see in myself compared to the qualities colleagues see in me. I found I was more self-critical to myself than my colleague, who chose to recognise the positive qualities in me. For example, I chose stubborn and tense, whereas they found me adaptable and accepting. After having completed all my self-assessment tests, I created a SWOT table which helped me identify my strengths and weaknesses as well as my threats and opportunities so that I could prioritise the attributes and skills I needed to devote my focus to in order to become a more employable candidate when applying for job roles. My initial personal development plan identified 4 areas that I believe needed improving that would enable me to reach personal goals as well as professionally. My first area of development is to improve my performance when working under pressure. By doing this, I can make sure I provide the best possible results within my work and my education. Working under pressure has previously impacted my module assessment marks because I have not given my full potential into it. For example, last semester I had 2 reports to submit and I dedicated more time to another one, which meant my applied management practice report suffered with a lower mark compared to the first I achieved in my other module. Secondly, I can often struggle with my written communication and end up expressing myself incorrectly as I cannot interpret my own feelings. This can affect my writing, whether that's in my academic reports, job application, for example, cover letters and CVs, or smaller things such as professional emails. Making well-balanced decisions has been a challenge in the past as I tend to rush decisions making without even thinking about them through and analysing the possible consequences to each one. This has previously impacted me and caused me to suffer with academic results and job opportunities. Lastly, innovation is not something that comes to me naturally. I tend to be more of a numerical reasoning person and struggle to find innovative ideas for problems. This can hinder me academically and professionally as I'm less likely to differentiate myself from fellow peers and colleagues because my ideas may be classed as the norm or disregarded because they are not revolutionary. After developing my personal development plan within my applied management practice report, I knew I needed to make use of the tools I had access to in order to achieve the goals I had set out for myself. The app Flora is a tool I've been using the last semester to avoid procrastination whilst completing my weekly seminar and lecture tasks, as well as hitting my deadlines. Flora lets me set time limits to which I am not allowed to use my phone. This encourages increased concentration due to the decrease in distractions. Flora reduces the amount to which I'm on my phone. In order to ensure I make balanced and informed decisions, I set myself the task of using mind maps to analyse the outcomes and the pros and cons to each decision I could make. This allowed me to visually see which solution would be more viable in addition to the possible impacts it could have on me. Furthermore, it reduced the risk of me being blindsided by the outcomes of the decisions I made. On the screen is a mind map I drew up last month due to a work situation that had arisen. I currently work at the Argos branch in Guiseley, which is not in my hometown and is a 20-minute drive away. However, I was given the option to transfer to Greengates branch, which is my hometown. I was very unsure what to do, so I decided a mind map could pinpoint the pros and cons, allowing me to make the best decision for me in regards to my current situation. Whilst Guiseley meant a further journey to get there, it also provided me with a major benefit, which was the increased opportunities I had in overtime. Whereas Greengates was only a 10-minute walk away, however, due to it being a small store, the overtime was minimal, meaning a large decrease in my wage. Identifying these major consequences allowed me to work out which would have the most rewarding outcome. On that account, I chose to stay in Guiseley as the cost of travelling was minimal compared to the loss with the lack of overtime. Written communication is a goal I set myself that I have neglected ever since writing up my personal development plan. Since my last semester, I've not had to write many large pieces of writing, which meant I avoided tackling this problem within my workplace and academic work. Innovation is something I've always struggled with, however, I set myself the task to improve this within my workplace. I asked my manager Craig to provide me with some feedback regarding my performance and how I have demonstrated innovation within the workplace. The paragraph on the screen reinforces how I have been able to become more innovative within my workplace, as well as providing my colleagues with support and creative ideas within my training sessions. Whilst at work, there are many things we need to inform customers of, which can be difficult to remember. With the help of my managers, I was able to provide my colleagues with added support and innovative methods of remembering their tasks. This has included doing practice roleplay, flashcards, one-to-ones, and finally support and assistance when talking to real-life customers. We have targets to reach at work, and my added support has meant that those who needed help have been able to reach their target of 7%. I am proud that I have been able to overcome my lack of innovation whilst also assisting my peers and helping them achieve their full potential. The use of my mobile phone is a large distraction for me, which has caused me to procrastinate in the past and delay deadlines. Therefore, removing the possibility of using it when completing deadlines has allowed me to improve the environment I am working with when under pressure. Even though a mind map is thought to be of a simple and basic tool, it is a method I have recently been using due to the efficiency and visual representation that it has given me in regard to my decision making. Taking time to think through decisions and breathing allows me to pursue a better outcome rather than rushing and dealing with unwanted consequences. My first revised goal I set myself is the daily to-do list, which I must check off by the end of each day. By setting myself this goal, I am ensuring that I'm being held accountable for whether or not I am completing my daily goals. The calendar app will also allow me to note down deadlines, events happening, which will go alongside my daily to-do list, because I will know what tasks need to be done on what day. I will be holding myself accountable by ensuring each task is checked off every day. Not doing so will mean that I have failed and could potentially hinder my development. Secondly, my written communication is a skill I need to continue to build on. This time I'm going to be harder on myself and ensure that I am journaling every day. I can create a blog or keep a diary where I simply just discuss my day and what I have done. This is a simple yet achievable goal which will enable me to improve my writing skills and allow me to develop within my future reports and essays. With the help of my colleagues and peers within my university and workplace, they can provide me with constructive criticism and feedback that can aid me in my writing performance. Additionally, the feedback given to me can be used for my next writing pieces and be taken into account when completing written work so that I can continue to enhance my written skills. My self-assessments have pinpointed that I can struggle to accept change, and colleagues have also identified me as bossy, which I am aware of. I am also self-aware that I tend to be stubborn and changes to plans can throw me off. Thus, I must learn to adapt and welcome challenges into my lifestyle so that I may thrive. Learning to analyse which battles, discussions or work pieces are the most important to me will enable me to choose which I can't let go of and be more relaxed within the decision making process. By doing this, my stress levels may decrease as I'm no longer setting myself impossible standards. And by doing this, I can also improve my emotional stability as it makes me aware that things can be different and stray from the plan and still have good outcomes.